Yeah, welcome to Home Truth Nigeria. In case you are stumbling on us for the very first time, you're welcome to Home Truth Nigeria. This is our very first video broadcast, and today we'll be talking on something very interesting. Just before we go into it, I'd like you to click the subscribe button, share, comment, do whatever you feel like doing, but just stay tuned. Today we'll be talking about something very important, and that is facts about the Nigerian men. When you talk about Nigerian men as regards relationship, it's always associated with a red flag. It's more or less like there is a stereotype associated with Nigerian men. So today we will be looking at what exactly do people know about Nigerian men. On a personal scale, what do you know about Nigerian men? Now, if you go to the internet, if you click on Google or on YouTube and search Nigerian men, there are all sorts of articles saying Nigerian men and the lies they tell. People who are saying they would never date a Nigerian guy. You also have people giving you reasons you should never date a Nigerian guy. And some people are not just sure if they want to date Nigerian men. Now, all these things are like a norm when you talk about Nigerian men and relationship. But the big question I always ask is, according to the Nigerian government, we've got 17 million Nigerians living in abroad or in diaspora. How is it logical for just one person to say, like, I dated one or two Nigerians, and for that every Nigerian is the same? So that's why today we will look at certain angles. But before we do, I always would ask you, are you about dating a Nigerian? Are you dating one already? Or most probably you're about getting married to one. If your answers are yes to this, then the question is, what do you know about Nigerian men? And that is why today in Home Truth Nigeria, we will be telling you about 10 facts you need to know about Nigerian men. Point number 1, the Nigerian man is family oriented. Now, this is something kind of strange or new to certain people. I have seen cases where a lady says, my man, who is Nigerian by the way, always keeps in touch with his father, mom, uncles, brothers, sister. He's always calling them to discuss things, and I think it's like a mama's boy. Well, I wouldn't say so. You see, an average Nigerian did not grow up in isolation. Like, there are certain things you see in the Western world where you see some people, they've not had contacts with their parent for over 3 to 5 years, some 1 year, some even for months. It is not normal with an average Nigerian guy. We believe in the family structure. We believe in the family hierarchy. We believe everything evolves around family. And if you are someone who rather don't want to have anything to do with family, then you will find it very difficult being with a Nigerian guy. Point number 2, the Nigerian man loves to be in charge. Well, when I mean he loves to be in charge, I'm not trying to say he wants to dominate you in everything. Well, most Nigerian men will dominate you if you let them. But when I say he loves to be in charge, he doesn't want to play second fiddle to you. He doesn't want to be the number 2 in the relationship. You either make him feel important or that relationship wouldn't work. This is something we learn from our parents. In most African homes, especially in Nigeria, the father is mostly, in most cases, the one who goes out and brings the money home, and the mom manages the home. And I always say to ladies, no matter how well educated you are, how well intelligent, or how well paid you are, don't ever look down on your Nigerian man. If you do this, then you might have problems in that relationship. I believe that both individuals as a couple should always discuss things before a decision is made. But if you just disregard him because he earns little, or he doesn't have a job, or you're not happy with what he does for a living, I don't think you would have a good relationship with him. So when I say he loves to be in charge, just try to make him feel important, and you would have a very good relationship with the Nigerian guy. But if you try to make him feel less important, I don't think that will work. Point number 3, the Nigerian man is very ambitious. Now, when I say very ambitious, I'm not trying to say, oh, the Nigerian man is so greedy and is so much into money. That's not the point I'm trying to make. When I say the Nigerian man is very ambitious, I'm trying to say that the Nigerian man would not stop at just a particular point. He believes he could get better. He believes he could do more. He believes there are opportunities for him to get to the highest level in life. It's a dream. I've seen cases where ladies who say, well, I am okay with my life, I don't want more. It will be a little bit difficult, especially if you're dating a Nigerian, because he is not settled with just not wanting more. He believes that whatever opportunity he gets, he will take it with both hands to make his life better and to make the life of his family better. So an average Nigerian man is ambitious, very ambitious. Point number 4, Nigerians are smart and intelligent people. I have seen some ladies in Canada who say, oh, well, I don't think Africans are smart, referring to a Nigerian man, by the way. Well, some say they're from Africa, that they live close to the jungle, there's no form of education there, they still walk around naked, so they're not smart, they're not intellectually sound and what have you. And in most cases you get situations where the man ends up outsmarting the woman, and she is done with reality. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, look, if you're dating a Nigerian, don't look down on him because he's African. Nigerians, on the average, they are very smart. And just a tip for some of you ladies, never take your eyes off him. Never take your eyes off him. Even though he is not talking, he is not saying much, it doesn't mean he's not smart. It doesn't mean he's not thinking. It doesn't mean he's stupid. He's smarter than you think. If you take your eyes off him, you would see he's way lot smarter than you think. There are a lot of data and published articles that shows that Nigerians are smart and intelligent people. And I would advise you, don't look down on him. Even if you think he has no formal education, he has a functioning brain. Point number 5, Nigerian men are fun to be with. I have seen people who say the Nigerian guy I dated is so boring and what have you. Yeah, of course there are exceptions to everything, but an average Nigerian man is fun to be with. An average Nigerian man is not hesitant in making you happy. You know, there is something about humor that is associated with Nigerians. Those of you who've dated Nigerians, you would understand what I'm saying. Or those of you trying to go into a relationship with Nigerians, humor is associated with our culture. We know how to make ourselves, happy, irrespective of whatever condition it is we're going through. If you go to Nigeria, there are places you go to, even with or in the midst of poverty and hardship, these people still have time to put a smile on their faces and also to enjoy life. And there are a lot of articles, a lot of research that has been done as regards this, that goes to validate the fact that Nigerians are one of the happiest people on the surface of the earth. So if you're dating a Nigerian guy, or you're about dating a Nigerian guy, trust me, one thing you would get in that relationship is humor. A lot of laughter, a lot of crazy things you will see from him, his friends, family, and you would enjoy it. Point number 6. The Nigerian man loves cooked home meal. Food. You know, when you meet a lady for the very first time, in some cases, there's always going out. You know, both of you go out to get food, have Chinese food. At times, you want to make it simple. You go for McDonald's, Subway. But one thing you would know when the Nigerian guy gets serious with you, like he really wants to get serious with you, is that he would want both of you to spend more time cooking regularly at home. And if you're this kind of lady who thinks cooking is not your thing, or maybe you can cook, but it's just too much work for you to do, then you might have a problem, because sooner or later your Nigerian guy would not be comfortable with ordering food or going out to eat. He would love cook home meals. He would want to have his normal eba and egusi soup. He would want to have his jollof rice and all other Nigeria traditional assortments associated with that food. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies. I'm not saying the job of a woman should be in the kitchen cooking. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that both of you can actually cook. Like, you could take it in turns, because I've seen cases where the lady doesn't want to cook and she is not thinking on learning how to cook. She has no plans on how to cook. She is not interested. She doesn't want to spoil her nails. She doesn't want to go all sweaty in the kitchen and everything. Now, when this is the case, you would have problem with the Nigerian guy. That's if he would leave the relationship. Now, I'm not trying to say Nigerian guys cannot cook. Absolutely, there are a whole lot of Nigerian guys who know their way around in the kitchen. It's something we learned from our parents. It's something they taught us to be very, very handy in the kitchen. Not all, but most. And it is always fun when couples cook together. It's always fun when you make home meal. It's healthier and it brings the couple closer. So if you're this kind of lady who you don't agree to this, you would have real problem with the Nigerian guy. So if you cannot cook, you could learn how to cook, and both of you could cook together. It's fun. So this is a problem with the Nigerian guy. So if you cannot cook good home meal, it could be a problem on the long run. Point number 7, culture and tradition. Most Nigerians, no matter how long they've lived overseas, no matter how long they've stayed abroad, most of them still retain their culture because it's part of their formative age. It's what they had to go through. Some of them, it's something they learned from their parents or within their surrounding. And there are cases where the lady who is dating the Nigerian guy cares less about his cultural tradition. He's not interested about his cultural tradition. And I always tell ladies, when you're dating a Nigerian and you show no interest in his cultural tradition, I'm not saying particularly to go embrace his culture. No matter how long you've been with a Nigerian, you could never be a Nigerian. But there is something about you embracing and understanding some parts of his culture that is relevant. For instance, food. You know, I know a lady who's dated a Nigerian for 10 years and she cannot make one Nigerian meal. And one time they invited us for dinner and I went there and I asked her, so can you make any Nigerian meal now? And her response was, I don't care. Why should I bother myself making Nigerian meal? I don't care about that. I don't care about Nigerian meal. Food is food. And I told her, but do you understand? Food is also part of culture. So it's very important to understand this, embrace something about this culture. It could be language, it could be something they do that is relatively unique in his culture. When you do that, he draws closer to you. Not only does he draw closer to you, you get this form of approval from his family because they see you to be open and welcoming. But if you're this kind of lady where you're in a relationship with a Nigerian and you care less about where he's from, his culture, his belief system, you would have real problem, and I don't think that relationship will last. Point number 8: Nigerian men don't discriminate. Now, this is something people ask me. When you say Nigerian men don't discriminate, what do you mean? Well, I would tell you what I mean. Nigerian men are, I would say, one of, in the whole continent of Africa, that wherever they are, they have no barrier for love. I don't want to mention countries in Africa, but there are certain countries in Africa that would not marry certain nationalities. They would not marry certain nationalities. But one interesting thing about Nigerians, especially the Nigerian men, is wherever they are, they have no boundary on who they fall in love with. They don't care if you're white, you're black, you're mixed, you're pink, you're green. They don't care. They are free loving. They would fall in love if they meet the right person, and that is something peculiar about Nigerians. They don't discriminate about that. It is clear and obvious. Point number 9: he loves his woman to be looking good. Although I say the Nigerian man loves his woman to look good, well, this is something peculiar, I think, with most men. Some men don't actually care, but an average Nigerian man loves his lady to look good. It's a thing of joy for most Nigerian men when they go out with their lady and she is the center of attraction. It's kind of like a rank to the shoulder. It's kind of like something that brings respect to them. It's like when your lady is good looking, she's very stylish with her dressing and all that. It's more or less like it makes him feel very good, like, well, I got a very good lady. Now, I'm not trying to say the lady is a trophy. That's not what I'm trying to say. At the same time, I'm not trying to say one should just dress anyhow, like being flirtatious or almost naked to please anyone. No, but I'm talking about knowing exactly how to dress, because if you've ever been to Nigeria, you would understand that the Nigerian ladies are very, very stylish with their dressing. They know how to dress, they know how to really look good. And if you're a lady who is only interested in sweatpants in the morning, sweatpants in the night, sweatpants when you're going for groceries, everything sweatpants, well, I don't know, I really don't know. In that wouldn't be something most Nigerian guys would love. So another way of really keeping or getting your Nigerian man to your side is if you're a very good dresser. Now, when I say good dresser, I mean like good dresser. So he loves his woman to really look good. This is a norm for most Nigerian men, if not all. Point number 10: Nigerians are hardworking. Now, when I say Nigerians are hardworking, it's untypical to see a Nigerian who sits at home and you got opportunities to do something and he doesn't want to do it. It's very, very untypical. In fact, most Nigerians who travel overseas, they travel there. Most of them travel there for greener pastures, if not all. And that is going out in the morning, doing the 9 to 5 job, so they could bring food home and also run their families, because they got bills to pay and they also got other things they've planned to use money for. One interesting thing about Nigerians is most Nigerians will do anything on the legal side, so long as it pays. When I was in university, I had some friends in from other parts of the world, Western world precisely, who didn't want to work. As a student, I was like, dude, we could go work and fast food, just to make some money. summer holiday, and someone said, well, fast food is not for me. I want some job where I don't have to stress myself. What I'm trying to say is Nigerians don't care. If you put out a job there where they pay, they would do it. So long as it's legal, they would do it. Now, why am I discussing these 10 facts about Nigerian men? It's very important because in most cases, you've had situations where when a relationship doesn't work, most especially when it involves a lady with a Nigerian, it is either associated with he wants my green card, he is only dating me for my visa, he's dating me for my money, one thing or the other. But we need to, especially the ladies need to look at some other aspect that could have caused the relationship not to work. Now, I'm not saying that there are Nigerians who date you because of your money, who are there to get you because of your date you because they want your green card, or date you because they want visa. Absolutely, you've got this. But aside that, you've got honest and genuine Nigerians who are truly searching for love. And it is very important before you go into a relationship with a Nigerian, or if you are dating one presently, or you're about getting married to one, it's very important to understand who they are. It is absolutely important because the Nigerian men, they come from another part of the world with the different culture and different orientation. And you don't just assume they reason like you and they would understand everything you do. No, it's not always the case. So it's very important for us to discuss this topic. Just subscribe to this video, subscribe to this channel, I beg your pardon, click like to this video, share, comments, whatever thing you want to ask. Maybe we will treat that, whatever comment you put, we'll treat it next. But I would be uploading more content explaining certain things about Nigerian men. For those of you ladies who are interested to know more about Nigerian men, thank you for watching. Home Truth Niger. Have a lovely day. Ciao. When the sun goes